wasn't going to say the name.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just made a big deal.
I've seen enough of Ant and Dec on TV. Whatever they say when the one drops in a brand name.
Yeah.
Other thing you
Yeah,
are
that's
available.
That's it.
Right, we'll introduce you to Flynn. Flynn is Flynn. In a very good way. Flynn's in charge of all surveys and assessments and training to be a RIC surveyor over time. Yeah,
yes, I am.
In motion in the background, but at the minute plays quite a key role in the business overall, really, because he sits centrally between the estate agency, the portfolio building team, and the property services refurbishment team. So if a property is getting bought by usually an investor and requires some sort of refurb, whatever level of refurb it might be, you'll go out and do the survey, won't you? Assess it, look at everything in as much detail as you possibly can, and write a report up for the business, which is effectively like a RICS report, isn't it? Like,
nice condensed version.
Yeah, condensed version.
Just quick summary, easy read.
Yeah, quick summary, easy read, condensed version of a RICS report that then gets distributed, and within that we have detail on the purchase price, detail on the comps. We're giving away some trade secrets here, by the way. We need to be careful what we say. But ultimately, it's packaged in the refurb and it's detailed in the refurb cost, which then stipulates what the purchase price is going to be. So then that goes out to the various team members, and then if the property is secured and actually goes into legals and goes through the purchase process and actually gets bought at the back end, we've got a report from day one that details what needs to be done, and then from there it allows us to send the refurb guys in, do a full overhaul, and turn it around.
Yeah. Around.
So that's what we do. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What did you do before? Then what's your background, Flynn? Can you give people a bit of a...
Yeah, my background. Well, I don't know. I think most kids from lads from Teesside all want to aspire to be footballers. So that was my my dream.
Yeah,
that was my dream for a lot of years.
You were a professional footballer for a bit, weren't you?
Well, I was
Semi-professional?
semi-professional. Yeah, I had a few trials here and there for different teams. Ended up playing for York for a few years.
Did you?
Was hoping to make it. Got set back. So I was like, right, okay, I need a plan B. I was still trying to sort of do the football, and that's when I went sort of semi-pro. I had a few games for Spinneymoor. But then I was like, right, well, I need to think of what I can do for my job if I'm not going to be doing football. What else? Now, I was always interested in property. So I thought, well, what can I do in property? Started looking online, what you could do. Quite like the sound of doing architecture. I thought it's quite hands-on. It's in property. So I thought, let's do it. Nothing that I've done before, but we'll give it a go, see what I think. So I went to uni, did architecture and urban planning.
That was it. Yeah, urban planning, yeah.
Yeah, had to do a mixed course because of what I did through college and things. But that give you sort of essentially an overview of architecture and then an overview of like urban planning, like planning documents, what you need for areas to put certain things in those areas.
Good skill set.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, got taught a lot of stuff. Quite old school stuff, which was interesting. Like there wasn't much sort of online things. It was all quite old school, like doing your drawings, making your models, all things like that. So again, very hands-on sort of approach to it, which was good. Wasn't too sold on the architecture side of things.
Yeah, you said you weren't sure. So
Yeah,
you want to make a shift.
Wasn't too sold. Stuck it out because I thought, well, I'll stick it out because you never know. Get a degree and that opens up doors as well. I finished that. In my third year, I was doing a module, I can't remember the name of it now, but we basically had to go into like a workplace to just do bits on the side. And that's when I got into a estate agency. Did that part-time in my third year at uni.
Did you? Where at? In Newcastle?
In Newcastle.
Did you?
Yeah, just for a student lets, which was interesting. You saw some interesting houses there. Yeah, equally as interesting as the ones that we see now.
So different levels of interest.
Yeah, different levels of interesting. But got into sort of estate agencies through that and really enjoyed it actually. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just a buzz as well, being a student, showing students around houses.
Yeah.
Got that sort of not hands-on because I wasn't using my hands, but being out there, being out of the office, I was like, okay, I enjoyed doing stuff like that. So after I realised the architecture side wasn't really probably going to be for me, I thought, well, the estate agency could work.
How long were you there?
So I ended up being there for 4 years in total, on and off, because I did a bit of travelling in between. But yeah, in total, 4 years.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Has your family got a bit of background in sort of buildings? in
Yeah, a
general,
little
sort of
bit.
surveying gigs?
So my grandpa, he was a building surveyor. That's where I kind of got a bit of the idea of going into sort of building surveying now, because I thought,
Yeah.
oh well, my mum sort of helped him through those years, so mum's got a fair bit of knowledge, which sort of being passed down to me a little bit. So yeah, had that sort of background, and as a family, we sort of do have a bit of property development between us.
Yeah.
We all kind of work together, buying houses. We started off buying, doing them up, to put into the next one.
Class.
Before we then turned that into buying them for rentals and keeping rental houses, where we mainly do that sort of down in Cornwall, where it's good.
Cornwall,
Yeah, really good holiday lets down there. So yeah, sort of got into it that way. I know we've been doing that for a long time. I mean, I was only, I think 14, 15 when that sort of was started happening. So
Yeah.
now I'm 27, been sort of in the background helping them over the 10 years, and now sort of more at the forefront sort of
brilliant.
in that family stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's class. That's good background, good knowledge, good experience
Yeah.
for delivering what you need to for our clients
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point as well. Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like I've got good wealth of knowledge there that helps me
yeah,
when I'm going into a houses, know what to look at, know what needs to be done.
yeah.
I imagine that's a totally different sort of market. Just touching on from my side, like the SA side of things. So you mentioned Cornwall are all holiday lets. I can imagine that's just such a different level of market. Like your nightly rates that you're getting down there, probably touching what, £300-400 a night.
Yeah, I mean, for the ones that we've got, they're just little small units. It's not getting as much as that, but I mean, yeah, it's
What are you getting paid
mega.
summer, sort of July, August?
I think we're charging £110 a night.
Yeah, the cottages aren't there?
Yeah, it's just a little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they, like one bed flats? or something?
Little one bed flat. Yeah,
Right,
one's
yeah.
one, and then the other's a 2 bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can sleep more people in that with like sofa beds and things.
Yeah.
A way to get more people in, more money. But yeah, generally speaking, we're sort of at the cheaper end in Cornwall just because
Yeah.
of the style of properties that we've got. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you see some properties down there that are letting up for like £500,
Yeah.
upwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
class.
just depending on where it is and how nice it is.
So how was the Ricks thing come about then?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier,
Because you moved from lettings, so you were doing lettings management.
yeah,
doing
well,
lettings management
I was
before,
I was
weren't
in sales first. That was sort of my what I was, sales negotiator. Then moved into lettings negotiating towards the end of that.
That's
Did
right,
that for didn't do that for too long. Did that for 6 months, but I really liked the sort of the busyness of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, being in the busyness. What was the question?
Can't remember. How did you go into Ricks? Because you were doing lettings management, and obviously you weren't the architecture, town planning. You weren't fussed about wanting to change the direction.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first chatted in there, you said your long term goal was you want to go into surveying, you want to be a chartered surveyor and work towards that point.
Yeah.
So we put the structure together to do the role that you're doing now, and then piggyback it and do the Ricks in the background.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that's like quite funny. Like obviously, when you applied obviously for the position at Horizon, we were obviously advertising for Lettings Neg, who was obviously Vicky.
Yeah.
Who obviously.
Oh right, yeah.
So Vicky
yeah.
obviously ended up fulfilling the role of Lettings Neg, but obviously we sat in on the interview with Flynn, and obviously, you know, me and Dennis.
Want to do that. At the time,
me and Dennis don't sort of like, you know, mess about. We just went. Well, he doesn't cut it as Lettings Neg at all, but you know what? He's a perfect property assessor. Like, that's an out-and-out person we need on portfolio building. Like, I think the words were, it'd be crap as a Lettings Neg. But you know what? He's probably the best sort of property assessor.
When I was at home, I think, was I at home?
No.
I was working at home. You came for your interview.
I came for an
I wasn't here for
interview.
the first one.
Oh, so Dad.
Yeah, and then you rang me and said, we just had a guy in who you really need to speak to.
Yeah,
So we're trying to get him back. So I was at home. I think you'd gone home.
I'd just got
I
home
was
and
on
got
phone
another
calls,
call.
and then I had to come back down here in my scruffs, and you came back down in
Because
your
he was on
suit.
his way back to Great Ayton. I think he was
That's right,
driving
yeah.
back to Great Ayton, and I was ringing
Yeah.
him and saying, "Can you get that lad to turn around and get him back into the office? We need him back at the office because I've got Dennis coming back."
Yeah.
now."
It was.
Yeah,
Meant to be.
yeah, it was.
It was
100%,
because I remember. I think I'd actually seen the advert online,
Right.
and I thought, oh, well, that's the sort of thing that I want to be doing, but didn't think I could do
Didn't
it
think you
until I
had
got
the
my
experience.
qualifications.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I've only had my qualifications now. And then lo and behold, you just kind of said, oh, well, actually, we've got an opening for you, and I thought, oh, perfect. Well, yeah, I'd love to do that.
Class. So how did you find it?
Yeah, love it. I think I said actually the other day to you that it's one of the first jobs that I've had where on the morning I'm not waking up thinking, oh, I've got to go into work today. I actually get up and I'm like, oh, I'm excited for the day, go into some new houses, see what I can see what business I can bring.
Yeah. And varied as well.
it's so varied,
Amongst
yeah.
places you're in and out of all the time.
Yeah, and as I say, I mean, one of my key things is I like being out and about, being hands-on-ish. So yeah, that gives me that opportunity to go and do that, to go out and see these houses, be out and about, while having the office side of things as well, to do my reports and whatnot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the office, seeing what houses I can go and have a look at, and go from there.
Yeah. And that's everywhere, isn't it? Like Teesside, Darlington.
Yeah, go all over,
Sunderland,
right up
we
to
have
Sunderland.
Yeah.
I'd go further.
Yeah.
Scotland, watch out.
Yeah. Wherever it's
Scottish
houses.
borders are called.
We've been talking the last, well, it seems like we've been talking about it the last few months, but we're always talking about how busy the market is. But it is just madly busy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, especially for investors as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in some areas, some local hotspot areas, you can't even get into some houses because
I was
they're
just
that
saying,
busy.
you'll be seeing that. Like, obviously, there was that property literally only last week where I'd sent it to you. I said, "Oh, I've seen this last night, Flynn."
Yeah.
You know, you rang up to sort of try and get a viewing on it, and they were like, "Oh no, it's going." Obviously, I tried to ring and get an offer on it, and then it pretty much got tied up the same day. You know,
same day.
It was market value. We were going to pay basically asking price, but it met all of the criteria we needed, but it just went that quick.
Yeah. So
that was like a home buyer, like moving that quick. So
yeah, I know. So it's been a challenge to overcome, really. That
to secure the right stock
secure them,
quickly.
just to move quicker than everyone else in the market doing it.
Probably best off clarifying there that whilst we have our own estate agency and manage our own sales, we also do additional sourcing. So we work with a lot of agents across the northeast, and you're like the main point of contact with that.
Yeah.
Aren't you? So a lot of the agents that we work with, like a lot of people contact us and reach out and say, look, we've got this on the books and it's probably going to suit your investor profile. And then Flynn will go out and do an assessment. So that's more of our portfolio and investment clients on the other side. So if it's not in our own estate agency, we'll pull it in from another, and Flynn will go out and do the assessment. So when we're talking about the market being hot and not being able to secure them quick enough, it's the properties that might be on the market with other agents across the region. What do you think the hurdles are so you're going out? Generally, sometimes might be the first person to get into a property, or if Kev's been and seen it and valued it for our agency, they'll give you a shout. You'll go out and see it. So what type of things that are standing out more often than not when we're seeing refurbs coming through?
What?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
something
I was going there. I was thinking of like some of the common themes that we're seeing. So if you think so we've got a lot of landlords, professional investors on one side, and a lot of them are buying ex-landlord stock.
Yeah.
And the ex-landlord stock are generally coming up with a lot of the same problems, aren't they? Like rewires, boilers out of date, things like that.
So just talk about what the house is.
We're hitting the same hurdles all the time, aren't we? And it's like, you've got a retired landlord on one side, they can't be bothered or can't afford to do the work. And we're having the issue as well where more often than not they're trying to attract a premium price, aren't they?
Yeah.
But then trying to attract a premium price, but then it's got at least $5,000 worth of
compliance issues as well, so to speak.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the challenges, house prices, number one. I mean, we live in a world where everything's online, everyone's got access to everything, people's knowledge is maybe more aware than what they were, so people are expecting to get the top dollar for that house because they know what it could be worth.
But it's not.
They think they're aware. They think, oh, my house, it could be that, so it's worth that. Where it's like, well, no, we've got to do all the work to get it to that point before it's worth this amount. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Which is a bit frustrating because you'd be putting in offers on houses that you think could be quite good offers, but sometimes you just don't get.
The thing is though that they'll have put their postcode in to say like a Zoopla tool or something like that, and it said, Flynn, your house is worth 140 grand, or like 110, 140. They give you like this bracket sort of almost of where your house could sit. But all they're doing is, like you said, it's like data scraping, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
You know, what's the highest value house in that sort of postcode proximity? But they're not seeing the fact that it needs a rewire, the boiler's out of date. You know, the windows are shot. The house is falling apart. But they're still going. It's worth top market.
How many times over the years have we seen the process being a cycle where it's been sat on the market top dollar? They refuse to take offers, refuse to take offers, and it's sat there and sat there and sat there, and then it'll come back around. It's happened this week, hasn't it? That one in Moorcock Tier 6. Where we looked at it and thought, right, that's perfect for investor, but Flynn saw it 6 months ago, and the client's been sat with it on the market trying to achieve a top line price, but it needs work, nothing's happened with it, and it's come. It was on with another agent. It's come back on with another agent, and now we're back looking at it. Like
Come full
circumstances,
circle.
Come
almost,
gone full
yeah.
circle,
yeah.
and that happens time and time again, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does happen a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, you can see them. Obviously, the ones that are sticking around, they do eventually sort of coming down in price, and then when they do come down, they end up selling.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, to buy at the right price.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I suppose that just comes down to pipeline. Like, I mean, that's one thing that you and Charlotte will see a lot is obviously like your pipeline of stock that you're working. You know, it's excessive. It's a massive list that you've got pipelined.
yeah,
And then it's having that data there to go, right, well, that was on with that agent 6 months ago. This is what we viewed out. This is what we were going to pay. This is what we offered. So you've got that data to hand. So as soon as that comes back online again, you're straight back on the phone.
yeah.
One thing I always try and explain to people is like the conversion rate, the ratio, how many properties we view or have viewed to achieve conversion at the bottom to actually get it into legals and get it into sale. Like you're probably viewing what busy period, 4 or 5 properties a day. Some
Yeah, in
days.
busy periods. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, 15 to 20 houses a week.
Yeah.
On average, probably doing about 10 to 15 a week.
Yeah.
And then in those busy times can even be more than 20.
Yeah.
Depending on how
Which
busy
is
it
mad
is.
numbers, isn't it? When you put in, when you think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the miles covered, the amount of time committed to that is just unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't realise, like what actually goes into it, what actually goes into
What
finding
goes
it.
into
Yeah,
it?
because it's not
What
just
goes into a fee?
the one house that you go and look at that day thinking, oh, that could be a good one. It's like,
Yeah.
well, chances are you might not even get that one. So you need to find as many suitable properties as possible to give those people the option.
Yeah.
Because as in a fast moving market, when one might go, so you put all the eggs into that one basket,
Yeah.
you're just not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, totally.
So you need to be able to give.
And for our
Handful,
clients, yeah, totally, yeah, 100%. And for our clients, the clients that we've got that need that service, where they're busy at work, busy with the business, can't take the time out, can't take a week off to book a week and align a lot of diaries to go and do viewings themselves, and that's where we come in as a business, isn't it? And like obviously the part that you've played in that is important
So
to
it
it, really.
just makes life easy for people, doesn't it? I think that's the whole essence of what I do. It's like paints a clear picture so people know what they're coming into, what they can expect. And they can just kind of take a step back and just let us do the work for them, which is what people like.
And send them your report as well. Send them your report on day one so they can see what's actually involved, what the purchase price is going to be, what they're getting for the money, what works need to be done.
Yeah, cool. People do definitely appreciate that.
Do you want to talk about your travelling?
Can do.
One bit, because you're a very, very well travelled man, you are. Just think about that. There.
Yeah, I've been about a bit.
Where were you last?
So the last place I was in doing backpacking sort of travelling was Southeast Asia. Yeah, I was there for 4 months. Sort of generally when I go and do these expedition sort of things, these backpacking experiences, I kind of like to do a month in each place that I go to.
Yeah,
because then you can get like a proper feel for it. It's not like you've just been there for a little holiday. You can actually get to feel the culture, how different areas of the world
see what
operate.
it's like properly.
Yeah. Not just have that English sort of mindset for things. See how other people will take in what's going on around them and how people act in those situations. It's really good. I would recommend everyone to always go and do it for a little bit.
Yeah, class.
Whereabouts in Southeast Asia was it then?
So starting in Thailand,
Yeah.
cheapest place to fly to.
Yeah.
Really good country as well. I mean, so much to enjoy and see there.
I remember going there as 14, 15-year-old. There was a lot to see there, right?
Yeah, a lot to see. Yeah. I think it's probably quite a bit different now. I feel like there's quite a lot of English tourism over there now.
Yeah, in certain parts, definitely.
Yeah. So it was quite nice to then get out into the other parts of Asia. Then went across into Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, and they were less quiet in terms of the English travellers there. And so you did get more of a bit more culture in those places, which I'm all for. Anything, seeing new things, new experiences, I'm all about that.
You do South America as well, Mexico?
Yeah, so did Mexico, Central America. I was meant to be going doing a few different places, Mexico, Canada, Hawaii. But when I was in Mexico, I ended up loving it that much.
I remember when you had travelling, you had like America or something like that. And I was like, oh, I can talk all about America, this lad. And then I was like asking you, just didn't know Central America or like North America, or it was all just like Mexico.
Yeah, it was just Mexico. And then did Guatemala for a little while as well. Bit in the Caribbean, but didn't do too much. I saw lots of Mexico though, which was fantastic, and I'd recommend anybody to go to Mexico.
Yeah, because you said it was quite safe as well, didn't you?
Well, I've found it to be very safe. People, I mean, you'd hear stories.
Everyone has this fear, don't they? You don't leave the compound, you don't leave the resort. And it's gonna be bad.
Well, people say that to you about anywhere you go. So it's like, well, I'm just not gonna listen and go and just see what it's like in my own experience. and I've always had a pretty safe, good time.
I had that
so-
in Egypt as well, and it was like told not to leave the resort and stuff like that. And me being me, I decided, I don't know how Helen's still with me, but I took us on a 5-mile walk around Egypt, started walking on the streets and
Yeah.
stuff, went for a little leisurely walk.
And how was that?
People were
So-
like, you can't do that. I was like, well, why not? I went
yeah.
and got my haircut as well. I just walking some markers and got my haircut.
yeah.
If you can walk around TS1 or certain parts of TS1
Exactly, yeah,
safely,
yeah.
I think you can walk most parts of the world.
There you go. Yeah. That's I've had my training. I've had training round here.
Yeah, that's it. You're conditioned, mate. Yeah, that's what it is.
Just, don't look people in the eye. Just sort of don't make any sort of unsteady movements.
Oh,
That's it.
Just keep
That's
yourself
it.
to yourself.
Those life
Yeah.
skills are
Yeah.
transparent
Yeah, of course
across
they are.
everywhere.
Yeah, T-sided. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right, class.
Where's next on the travel list? Is there anywhere particular?
You settled now, mate. Are you
Yeah,
settled? You're not going anywhere?
I'm pretty settled now. To be fair, if I was to do anywhere sort of backpacking, then yeah, it would have to be South America, all around Peru,
Yeah.
Chile,
Yeah,
Argentina.
brilliant.
Would love that. But the destinations I like to go to are just more sort of holiday places, like Canada, Norway, Australia, places like that. I'd like to go to.
I fancy Canada. Like, I fancy, is it Banff? Ski
Yeah,
resorts,
yeah,
something like that.
on
Yeah,
ski
of
resort.
course.
Yeah, I know a few people that have been there. It looks
Yeah,
looks incredible.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
When we go Horizon International, you wouldn't go and scope the area. Obviously,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
send you there for a month and you can feedback
Yeah.
to us all.
You're off to Dubai, Charlotte's off to Vegas.
Well, when
Fred's
I-
off to Dubai. We've got it all covered.
We've got it all covered. But when I said earlier that I'd go further than Sunderland, Canada's where was
Yeah,
where I've
that'll
been.
When you're looking to complete your Ricks, is that January 26th, you said?
Yeah, so it's all part time. Obviously alongside work, so it's
Yeah.
a 2-year course.
You're doing a Masters at the minute, aren't you, in Teesside Uni?
Masters at Northumbria Uni.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
All online through them. So I don't need to go up to Newcastle at all to that. I can do if I want to.
Yeah.
But the fact of it part time just makes life easier for me around
Yeah.
work. But yeah, 2 years. I'll graduate in 2026 to start off. So yeah, January, February time. Then I'll
Then you
look
can
to
apply
do.
for like the Ricks thing. can't
Yes,
you?
and I
Yeah,
can apply
put
for
an
my
application.
extra qualifications to become RICS qualified. These are all my goals within the next
Yeah,
sort of three,
yeah,
to
3
3 to
years,
5
yeah.
years.
Quality, yeah. Flynn's an absolute grafter, by the way, because was it a month or two ago, a few of the team did the CEO sleep out at the Riverside Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So went and slept there overnight to donate charity for homelessness and everything else. But on the night they went, Flynn stayed in here in the office until about 7, half 7. Banged a load of uni work out in his own time when everyone else had gone home, and then went and caught everyone up at the Riverside and
Yeah,
slept out
yeah.
for the night. Absolute grafter.
Yeah, well, there's only so much time in a day. You've
Well,
got
that's
to
it,
make
innit?
the
I know,
most of
yeah.
it.
There's no Wi-Fi over there.
No, exactly. Not quite the home experience with the Wi-Fi.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no. Good. Do you want to talk about food?
Food.
it-
No,
do you wanna-
I'm getting the food. I mean, Southeast Asia, that'd be the food for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could look at Dennis Fort. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it'd be nice to go back and have a bigger budget to
Yeah.
sample some of the good food. I mean, more stuff that I was eating was just street food. But even
Yeah,
the
but
street
street
food
food's the best
was,
ones, I was about to
even
say,
street
that's-
food was incredible. So
totally.
I remember Thailand, like some of the street food over there. I remember having like garlic frog and like rice. It sounds awful, but it
Yeah.
was
It's spot
incredible.
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
incredible.
20, 30 pence off like a little street food vendor.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why I got the tattoo of this chair.
all right.
It was
yeah.
a chair that I actually photoed while
Right.
in Vietnam. Because like I always had this rule that anywhere you see these little plastic chairs, that's where you want to go.
That's
and
where
eat.
you want to eat,
Yeah,
yeah, really, yeah. Yeah.
It is the best food though. Like so you go and sit in a restaurant and stuff like that, but the authentic stuff is on the street.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they have little canopies at the side of the road.
Yeah, it's like peasant dishes, isn't it?
Yeah,
They always
yeah.
say the peasant dishes are the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
And it was
very
always like the
tasty.
local Thai families like going in there, and
Yeah.
if the Thai families are going in there to eat,
Yeah,
you know it's good.
good.
Yeah, you know it's always
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did try a few places where it was these sort of fancier places, and they are just built for the Western people going over because you go in there and you try the food, and it's just nowhere near up to par as the street food you can get for a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Any preference of food then from Asia?
ooh, I mean the curries, the Thai curries are all phenomenal. I think it was khao soy, I think it's called. Was pretty nice one. It was like crispy fried noodles on the top of like your brothy stuff.
Nice.
So that was nice. That was
We go Chinatown next week.
Yeah, I
aren't
know
we?
it. Yeah.
What about Mexico then? I bet that was interesting. Some Mexican food can be really
Yeah, Mexican food, really, really good. I mean, I think I
good.
was just
Spent long
eating.
enough there, so it must have been good.
Yeah, I was just eating, I think, tacos and burritos just
Wow.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quality.
fish tacos, pork tacos, all kinds of tacos. Yeah,
Yeah, on the beach. Class.
Yeah,
yeah,
good
yeah.
old carnitos, tacos, whatever.
Yeah.
Good then. Like.
Yeah, very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right then. That was really good, Flynn. Thank you.
Sound.
Yeah, spot
Yeah.
on. On to the next one.
Thank you.
Good, mate. That class.